Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backup in VMware Environment conference call hosted by Michael Wieland. My name is Paul, and I'm your event coordinator for today. During the presentation, your lines will remain on listen only, but if you require assistance at any time, please key star, then 0 on your telephone, and the coordinator will be happy to assist you. I would also like to advise all parties that a Q&A session will be held at the end of the call, so if you require to ask any questions, if you can wait to the end of the call, you will be advised how to ask your question. I would also like to advise all parties that this conference is being recorded And now I'd like to hand over to Mikkel. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good afternoon. Excuse me. It's not too late. My name is Michael Wieland, and I want to talk about backup architectures in VMware environments. I want to explain some architectures with samples and the reason why that the backup have to adjust it in a VMware environment when you come from a physical environment. So I want to talk about solutions with agents and also solutions which will be delivered from VMware and recommended. And in the samples you can see that some solutions can be combined, so that we have a solution also from VMware combined with old agent architectures. So let's start. And the reason for server virtualization, is to bring many servers to one server which was better utilized. And when you move this transition, many servers to one server, you have to know that each from this server has their own connection to the backup network, a dedicated connection, and he uses connection in the time of a backup, so it's no problem. But when you have only a single server or a few server, you have only 1 or 2 backup lines hosting these 15 workloads, and this may be a bottleneck. And the second difference is that in the old world, you have only one application. You do the backup job, and so it's no problem. And in the consolidated environment with virtualization, you have to know that there's an impact when you run a backup job on one workload. So other workloads running on the same ESX host maybe have problems. This is for the way when you use the old architecture coming from a physical environment. So the general problem is that the backup capacity is not so high as in a physical environment, and there's an impact of a backup of other running virtual workloads. So you have to readjust, and you have to look for a good backup strategy and concept for your backup. The questions which are in this way you have is the backup. What will you have to back up? A virtual machine or the files? This is the first question. And how do you do the backup and the restore for virtual machines? And in virtual environment, you often hear about a snapshot technology, and snapshot technology is a good way for a performant backup. But when you use snapshots and you snapshot the file, you have to take care that your backup is consistent. There are different ways. You have crash consistence, you have file consistence, and you have application consistence levels. And you have to take care that your backup, when you take a snapshot, when you restore it, is running. The other questions are the same questions from a physical environment. This is the question: what network are you using? A LAN or SAN-based network? How do you reduce storage overhead with deduplication, for example? How you handle the backup traffic and the backup window? And how long does data restore takes? These are the questions, the same question from the physical environment. The next picture shows 4 possible architectures for backup in a VMware environment. On the left side, you see 2 architectures with agents. And on the right side, you see 2 architectures recommended from VMware. So I go to the first picture, an agent in a VM. This is the same in the physical environment. You move the machine, you virtualize the machine, the workload on an ESX host, and the agent running in this virtual machine is the same. So you have no make change on your backup concept, but you have the problems. You will get the problems from when you have a lot of work and a lot of machines using this agent architecture. This is, I think, recommended in small environments, only a few virtual machines, and you have for each virtual machine an agent to be installed. And you see, when you have a lot of workloads on the ESX host, there are many agents running on this ESX host. The second part is a further development of this architecture. So you have not agents on each virtual machine. You have one agent on an ESX host who includes all the virtual machines, but this architecture will be no longer available because when vSphere 5 will be available in a few months, ESX 5.0 haven't any subsystem where an agent can be installed. So this architecture, when vSphere 5.0 will be available, will have no longer a future. And so I can only recommend you, if customers using this architecture, agent in an ESX host, you have to readjust your ESX, your backup concept or backup architecture. This architecture will no longer be available in the future. On the right side, you see the recommended architectures from VMware. They are using vStorage APIs. vStorage API is a point where you get the information where the file is lying on the storage system. So you have not to go the way via the virtual machine. You can directly access the files on the storage system without a virtual machine, which means a better improvement for your backup. And vStorage APIs tells you where are the files lying and where you can use it. And you have to build an application or a system backup with using this vStorage API. This is not a ready solution. There are only the information do you need. VMware is building a ready solution and shipped it with licenses. The ready appliance is a VMware data recovery. This is a ready-to-run application for backup. This is always included in the most VMware licenses. And VMware data recovery is using the vStorage APIs. And you see on the bottom, this is a backup with using snapshot to disk. And this is a disadvantage in the product. The product is very good, but the disadvantage is that you cannot make a backup to a tape directly. So when you will make a backup to a tape, you have to move the snapshot to a tape. There are some ways to move this backup data to a tape, which I'll show you later. This is the circle around the topic on the top of the data recovery point. And vStorage APIs and VM data recovery based on a SAN-based area network and agents and always using Ethernet network for backup. So there are some characteristics of these architectures, and the main point of this presentation is that agent in a XX host will no longer available with the next VMware version. So let's talk about agent-based backup. Agent-based backup using the data from the ASX host and is moving over the VM to the backup server. So data will collect it and moved through the ASX host over the VM to the backup server, and then will be written to disk or tape. And this means a lot of work for the agent, for the VM, and for the ASX host, and means a lot of traffic. This is a disadvantage, and this is the reason why you have to adjust the backup concept. You can only use this architecture in very small environments. You need a dedicated backup server for this. Many people ask me, can we install the backup server in a virtual machine? This is not recommended from the software vendors, for example, Symantec or other companies, because they are using own drivers, and there are sometimes time problems moving the data through the ASX host, and all the backup vendors are recommended a dedicated physical backup server. The backup can be done while the applications are running. There are some agents for SQL, Oracle, or Exchange, for example, which will shortly stop the application and take care that the application will consistent backup, and when the backup is done, the application will be running again. Deduplication can be done with some software, for example, Symantec Backup Exec, have options to do the deduplication job with a software solution. This is recommended for small environments, not for large environments. The next slide I show you, there is something or many special, which is not general. This is only in the way of Fujitsu, VMware, and Symantec, and this will be released in a few weeks. We are testing it, and the special is that we are using the backup server in a virtual machine, and that we use a direct connected SAS tape drive. And these are two things which are very special, and will be certified with Fujitsu, VMware, and Symantec, and there's an existing VMware knowledge base article, and only this configuration are possible. And it is only possible to use an external desktop drive, not an internal. This is harmonized and special aligned solution with these listed components, and you cannot use other components. So this is a very special certified architecture, and only in this constellation. Please take care that only one desktop drive is possible. You can use libraries, but you can only use one drive in the library. This is a limitation from the ASX host. And I show you in the slide, you see the hardware requirements, and so you see the software. You can use Symantec Backup Exec QuickStart. We have alignment with Symantec for this configuration, for this special configuration. And you need an agent for each VM, and so you can do the backup. And this configuration will be announced in a few weeks, so the configuration is certified. This is possible. The benefit is that you need no dedicated backup server, that the backup server can be running in a virtual machine. You can use LTO 3 or 5 drives, not 5, because 5 drives are too fast, and so the streaming mode will be left. This is not good for a tape drive. So only LTO 3 or 4 drives are possible. You have only one drive in this architecture, and the solution is built with semantic backup exec, and you have a lot of agents where you can use for your applications. And this is only recommended, this architecture or sample for small environments, 1 or 2 ESX hosts. The other way is to use vStorage APIs. This is recommended from VMware. And the benefit of vStorage APIs are that the backup job is done directly with the storage system, so as there's no traffic running over the virtual machine while the backup job is running. And the vStorage APIs tells the software or the application where the files are lying on the storage system. And this is very important, vStorage APIs tells the virtual machine that the backup job is done. So it will be done. So the virtual machine can be switched in a consistent mode. The VM is informed via the installed VMware tools that the backup job will be done, and the VM can flash the memory to the disk and close temporarily all the files. And the VM can also inform the running guest system that the backup job will be done. And some guest systems know this and understand this. For example, newer Windows versions like Windows 2003 or 2008 or XP or Windows 7. And they always they can switch also in the consistent mode, in the consistent file mode, and gives this information via Windows tools to running applications. For example, SQL, Microsoft SQL understands this and can bring the SQL server in a consistent mode. When you are interested about this technology, how to bring applications or guest systems in a consistent mode using vStorage APIs or for next data recovery, there is a good description in the data recovery admin manual, and here you can read how the guest systems and what guest systems are protected and are using this technology to bring the backup in a consistent mode. Okay, this is the feature set from the vStorage APIs, but you have to build the application with the vStorage API. And one application which was built based on these APIs is data recovery solution from VMware, which was delivered with the licenses, and this is a very good solution. VMware built this solution with vSphere 4.0 and running 100 virtual machines, which can be backupped. And it was extended later in 4.1 to thousands, because there's one appliance which can deliver 100 virtual machines. You can run this appliance 10 times. So you have 10 times of 100 virtual machines which can be backed up. So you have 1,000 virtual machines which you solve with this solution. I think this is a lot of virtual machines with this solution. Deduplication is included, and you can run 8 jobs at the same time. The architecture. The backup server wants to make a backup or a snapshot. The information is going to the ESX host. the ASX host makes on the file system a snapshot, and information is going directly to the backup server without the virtual machine, and the backup server can write this information to disk on tape without the virtual machine. And you see, without the interactive mode of the virtual machine, this is a good way with low traffic and with high performance. These storage APIs are included in all VMware license editions, so you can use it. And a data recovery solution or appliance is already available in the most VMware license editions. There's only one license, the Essentials license. There are no data recovery. In the Standard edition, data recovery will be inserted with the update 1 of vSphere 4.1, and so all the enterprise licenses have the data recovery appliance. And customers are using this solution. The solution is very good, and but there's only one manco or disadvantage. The data can only be written to disk, so you have no directly tape backup. So this is the only one disadvantage. And when you want to solve this problem, it is very easy. You have to unlock the backup files, and then you can move the backup files to tape, and then you can give the backup back to the data recovery. There are two ways. You can shut down the backup, the data recovery service, or and move the data to the tape, and then you will restart the application. Or you can unlock the files, unmount the files, move the data to the tape, and then you can mount the data back to the data recovery service, and you can go on. There are two ways, and you can do this automatically via script. This is a screenshot of the data recovery. Yes, admin in the management station in the vCenter, and you see it is very easy. So only 5 points you have to adjust, and you can look for your backup. So this appliance or this tool is a very easy and very good tool for customer, and you can you have no installed agents. You can quickly run this backup. The backup destinations I mentioned before. You have 3 possibilities for your backup destination. One is you can use a CIFS network share. You can always use the NFS data store, and you can use a VMDK in the VMS data store. There are 3 backup destinations. The CIFS network share is an easy way, but please this is the data is running via the appliance, and you have traffic over the appliance from the data. And the advantage is, the challenge is here in this solution to bring the data back to a tape. And the examples, this shows this picture. You make the snapshot with data recovery on a disk, and then you have to move the unlocked data to a tape. And for the first example, for the sample, I use the CIFS network share. And so you have this configuration. You do the backup job with data recovery to the disk. You unlock the files, for example, shutting down the data recovery service, and then you move the data with the backup software to a tape. And in the picture, is listed what you need on hardware, and you can use the backup exec quick start from Symantec. This is not a full license version. This is a license which was limited by the license key. It's very cost efficient, and you can do the backup job with this configuration. You can also use a tape library when you have a lot of data, so you can use the changer in the library, and when you want to use more than one tape drive, you have the option to add additional licenses for tape drives. And I show it in the backup software, the number of additional tape drive licenses. These two examples using Windows network share. The next example is using the backup destination inside the storage system. Backup exec can back up the data. Let's show it once more. Yeah. This is the architecture. The architecture is based on a SAN area network for backup, and you do the same job, and you can use the same backup software and the backup license and environment. So this is another way to move the data from the disk to the tape. This is a high-end solution. This is using, again, Windows network share, and it's also using a backup from a physical environment. In this architecture, we are using a virtual tape library, an Eternus CX800. Behind this virtual tape library are physical libraries, and the data is coming from the virtual environment, also from the physical environment. The Eternus have 6 network lines for the backup traffic, and in this architecture, you cannot use the Symantec backup exec. You must take the higher version of backups. This is a net backup edition, because backup exec is not designed to support the libraries behind a virtual tape library. This is the reason that we have to use NetBackup. NetBackup is supporting physical libraries behind virtual tape library. This is the reason. And you see the license model is a little bit difficult. You have to license the CPUs in the backup server. So for each CPU, you have to license, you have to take a license. This is the way using data recovery and bringing data recovery data to a tape. And the next samples are using vStorage APIs combined with agents. You are using backup exec again, and on the backup server, you can tell the backup server that the engine is using the vStorage API and no longer using the agents, and this may be realized by license keys. And in the picture, you see 3 ASX hosts. These are the smallest architecture, or the smallest configuration, and the backup job is directly done. In this sample, I only have 2 agents because I want to restore item-based, and the items are for Active Directory and for Exchange server. So these agents are not doing the backup job. These agents are only for the consistent mode of the backup job and for the restore from the items of the application. Behind the backup server, you have tape libraries or backup drives for the data. And the next slide is the configuration, and you see on the backup software you have to expand the Quick Start edition to a full version, upgrade to a full version, and you have to use VMware agents, but this is not the real word. This is not an agent, this is a license key, and the license key is installed on the backup engine. And under the number you have the license for 2 ASIC hosts, so this number is not 1 ASIC host. Symantec shipped this license key in only as a dual license, so you have 2 licenses for ASIC hosts with this number. And in the backup software, you have agents for Exchange and for Active Directory to have a consistent mode for your backup and to restore items based. The next slide is the same configuration, and you are using a virtual tape library on this SAN-based area. Please note that when you are using vStorage API, you only can use a SAN-based network, backup network. vStorage APIs with Symantec Backup Network does not realize on Ethernet-based backup. So you have a SAN-based backup to use vStorage APIs. This is the same architecture, agents for special applications, and this is a slide for what you have to use. And there is an existing plugin for VMware from Symantec. So the backup job with the agents, the restore of some items can be done inside the vCenter. And yes, and for applications where you have no agents, you have to run pre- and post scripts to take care that the application will be a consistent mode. So using vStorage APIs are the best way to make a backup, combined with agents for the applications. This is a good way to have consistent backup data and to restore on an item level. And for applications where is no agent available, you have to run a pre or post script. And vStorage APIs on Symantec Backup Exec are not available for Ethernet backup network, only for SAN-based backup network. This is the last slide. I mentioned before that two product lines from Symantec. One product line is the Backup Exec product line for the small and medium customers, and the Net Backup line is for medium and large enterprise customers. And you see the different license and technical difference. And in the slide set, you see when you have libraries behind the virtual tape library, you have to use a Net Backup. So this shows you the positioning of these two products. So this is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much. And I will be available for questions. When the operator moves the telephone lines to on, you can call me and bring questions to me, and I will answer your questions. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Mikhail. Ladies and gentlemen, your question and answer session will now begin. If you wish to ask a question, please key star then one on your telephone. Ensure your phone is not on mute. Record your name clearly, then press the hash key. If you then decide to withdraw your question, simply key star then 2. All questions will be answered in the order received, and you will be advised when to ask your question. All other lines will remain on listen only. Alternatively, you may submit a question on the web by typing in your question in the question and answer section of your screen and clicking on the Ask button. So just to remind you once more, ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to ask a question, please key star and 1 on your telephone, record your name, and then press the hash key.
So I will be ready for questions. Is there any question to the presentation?
No, at this time at the moment, Mikhail, we have no questions that have come in.
Okay. The presentation is available in our extranet, and there are existing white paper for this topic, and for the people who want the slide set, you can go on web, and this slide set and the white paper is available on it. So I think it will be end. Thank you very much for visiting this presentation, and when there are some questions later, I will be available via email. You send me an email with your questions. I will be ready for your questions, and so thanks for your coming, and I will send you goodbye.
Thank you, Mikhail. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes your conference call for today. You may now disconnect. Thank you for joining. Have a very good rest of the day.
Okay. So I want to say goodbye. Thank you very much.